There's a book of Psalms chapter 44 verse 13. Thou makest us a reproach to our neighbors, a scorn and a derision to them that are round about us. Thou makest us a byword among the heathen, a shaking of the head among the people. First and foremost, I would like to say, Kala Yah Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Kakodash, the ones to the apostles and elders, great Nelson, real well. Peace, blessings, salutations, still hopefully, tell you brothers out to pushing the word in truth and sincerity. Shalom, tell you brothers, stay strong, pushing this quick lesson. As I read the scripture, I'll be talking about the fact that these nations around us, the heathen, like the scripture says, that are reputed as nothing, they look down on us, they talk bad about us, beginning first and foremost with Esau, the so-called white man, because we already know that the hatred that Esau has towards us is on a whole different level than even these other nations. Esau really, Esau's the number one enemy of our people, so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native American Indians, which we are the Hebrew Israelites. And the so-called white people, are the Edomites. But these people, like I said, they talk down on us, they demonize us, they say that we're a bunch of criminals, drug dealers, things of that nature, right? They call us, they call us niggas, spics, wetbacks, tontos. So these heathen, beginning with Esau, they always had that hatred towards us. Because at one point, we were at the top, and we were rightfully so, right? Rightfully so. We had them in captivity as well. During the time of King Solomon. Which it really began with King David. He was putting all types of hell on them, the mother nations, on them heathen. So now that they have a chance to get back at us, or they had a chance to get back at us, they did. They put us in slavery. They sold us to the so-called white man, right? And then the so-called white man brought the tribe of Judah, Benjamin, and Levi in slave ships over here. And what he do with the so-called Native American Indians, which is a tribe of Gad, they started conquering them. The Spanish came to Mexico and certain parts in South America. The Portuguese as well. They came and they conquered South America. So these devils have always had that perfect hatred towards us. But as a matter of fact, I want to start up a little at the top. It says, I'll start at verse 10, Psalms 44, verse 10. Thou makest us to turn back from the enemy, and they which hate us spoil for themselves. Exactly. So those that hate us, which is who? The heathen, beginning with Esau, they spoil for themselves. These other nations are making a killing off of our, blood, sweat, and tears. Even, throughout the neighborhoods where we live at, Negroes, Latinos, Native American Indians, you have the heathen selling our people a bunch of, filthy shit, making money off of our people, man. Selling us a bunch of fucking, diabetes and high blood pressure. That's what they're really selling us. All that shit that you get in those little, the bodegas and shit like that, that's nothing but GMO chemicals. And these people are right there, right in the middle of the fucking hood, right in the middle of the hood where we live at. But it says, and they which hate us spoil for themselves. Thou hast given us like sheep appointed for meat, and hast scattered us among the heathen. And we are the meat to these people, man. Like I said, they make a killing off of our blood, sweat, and tears. First and foremost, who built America? It was us, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native American Indians. We were the ones that built this place up. And even to this very day, man, you have Issachar. The so-called Mexicans, they're building every fucking house and buildings and things of that nature. They're out there in the fields, picking the fruits and vegetables and shit like that. So right now, even to this very day, our people are the ones that are making a killing. Not just Issachar, but all the tribes. But of course, I'm saying Issachar because Issachar is Issachar, so-called Mexicans, are known for being hard workers. All in different restaurants and shit like that. So even to this very day, our people are meat for these heathen. Okay, if it wasn't for our people, man, this place would have collapsed a long time ago. Okay, but it says, and has scattered us among the heathen, right? Because you have our people that are even amongst these other nations, and they might look like them other nations, okay? So you might have people that look like so-called white people that look like crackers, but really, those are Israelites, okay? Like the scripture says, the Spirit bears witness with our spirit that we are the children of the Most High, okay? Because of the soul that these, certain individuals that look like heathen, you could tell by their soul, by their spirit, that they're Jake, 100%. And then not just Jakes that look like Edomites, but you're gonna have Jakes that look like Asian people. You're gonna have Jakes that look like Africans. You're gonna have Jakes that look like the Middle Eastern people. Okay, literally, we've been scattered all throughout the different parts of the world, and we started looking like these other nations too. Okay, but that's a stumbling block for a lot of people, okay, because they think that only the so-called Negroes are Israelites. Okay, a lot of people think that only the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians are the Israelites, but you're gonna have, you're literally gonna have Jake looking like everybody. Okay, but it says, thou hast given us like sheep appointed for meat, and hast scattered us among the heathen. Thou sellest thy people for naught, and does not increase thy wealth by their price. Thou makest us a reproach to our neighbors, a scorn and a derision to them that are round about us. Exactly, man. Calling us niggas and spicks and wetbacks and tontos and all these different, bywords and terms that these heathen beginning with Esau have coined and deemed us as. Okay, it says, thou makest us a byword among the heathen, a shaking of the head among the people. Like I said, these other nations, beginning with Esau, they look down on us. Okay, they truly hate our guts and they want to get rid of us. As a matter of fact, when you go to Psalms, the 83rd chapter, which I wasn't even going to bring this scripture, but I'm just going through the spirit. It says, keep not thy silence, O Most High, hold not thy peace, and be not still, O power, for lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. Exactly. Why are we known as the hidden ones? Because for the longest time we've been hidden from the fact that we were Israelites, that we are the true Hebrew Israelites, that the Most High is only dealing with us, His children. Okay, so for the longest, these devils paid trillions of dollars to try to remove the fact that we are the true Hebrew Israelites, and that they're the Edomites, and that these other peoples are the other nations, the heathen. Okay, so we are the hidden ones, but now now it's being revealed who the true children of Israel are. It says, they have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. So for the longest, these people, beginning with these other nations, they've always came together, and they have taken that crafty counsel, and they try to figure out ways of how can we destroy the name of Israel. Okay, how can we remove them from remembrance? Okay, not just the fact that, okay, we're gonna pay trillions of dollars for the truth not to come out of who the true children of Israel are, but they want to get rid of us physically, on a physical level. These devils want to get physical with us, and they've been doing it for years. Okay, guess who set up the gangs and the drugs amongst our people? It was these Edomites and these other nations. Okay. What else? The food that they sell us, pollute. We shall eat our bread defiled amongst the heathen. So the food that we eat, all this GMO shit, genetically modified organisms, which is not real food, is not real fruit that you're eating. Okay, it's not real vegetables. All of this shit is polluted, man. It's filthy, it's defiled. So even with these foods, they don't have the nutrients and the vitamins that we need for us to increase, and strengthen our immune system and things of that nature. As a matter of fact, the food that we eat and the water that we drink is further how can I say it's not strengthening our immune system, so now we're more viable to get sick with different diseases, cancers and diabetes and all this shit, heart attacks. Okay, because these devils are giving us this defiled food. So it says they have taken crafty counsel against thy people. Who's the Lord's people? Who's the Lord's people? The nation of Israel. And consulted against the hidden ones. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. The tabernacles of Edom. So here it is. The first thing that, right off the bat is Edom, the so-called white man. And the Ishmaelites, which is the Arabs of Moab, the so-called Chinese. And the Hagarenes, Jebal and Ammon, which is the so-called Japanese. And Amalek, which is, of course, Amalek is a part of Edom. Okay, they're Edomites. But to be more specific, is them people that call themselves Jews. Okay, the Jewish people, the Israelis, as they call themselves. Okay, they don't call themselves Israelites. They don't call themselves Jews. They call themselves Jewish and Israelis, which is not even biblical. It's not even in the scriptures. So that further proves that these people are, fake, phony imposters, and they're not the real Jews. It says the Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre, Assur also joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot. So all, beginning with these, so all these nations have consulted together, came and had this crafty counsel on how they can further destroy us, get rid of us, whatever you want to call it. They want us, they want to remove us from off the face of the earth. But is that going to happen? Absolutely not, because the Most High is with us to this very day. Even though we're underneath the curses, the Most High has always, been there with us and for us, and that's going to be, till eternity. It's going to be for everything. Okay, the Most High will always be our power. We will always be His children, no matter what. But going back to the main point, these other nations, they look down on us. They hate us. They want to destroy us. They call us a bunch of bywords and demonize us, calling us criminals and drug dealers and rapists. You see, because during the time of Trump, this devil was going hard at the tribe of Issachar, at the so-called Mexicans. He was saying how we were a bunch of criminals, rapists, drug dealers, cartel members and shit like that. He was saying a bunch of nonsense. Okay, he was just talking shit. For those 4 years, man, he was writing Issachar out for heavy. He was writing he was going hard on Issachar. But really, if you motherfuckers want to talk about criminals, look at your rap sheet. Okay, you Edomites are the biggest criminals, the biggest thieves, the biggest rapists, the biggest murderers, the biggest liars. That's you devils, man. Okay, Jake, okay, I'll give you an example. Jake is out here stealing fucking radios, right? Car stereos and shit like that. Okay, which that, I'm not condoning it. That's bad and that's wicked. Okay, you shouldn't even be stealing shit for, like, part of the Ten Commandments it says, thou shalt not steal. But when it comes to stealing shit, man, you devils stole lands. Okay, what'd you do with the tribe of Gad, the so-called Native American Indians? You came and you raped, robbed, pillaged, and murdered, our brothers, the tribe of Gad. And then what'd you do? You took this whole land. Okay, and then on the West Coast part of America, that really, all that part, California, Arizona, Nevada, New Mexico, what else? Oregon, all the West, the West Coast part of America, or what is now known as America, that was once part of Mexico, okay, of the tribe of Issachar, and you devils took that too. So, I mean, you devils want to talk about criminals and thieves and shit like that. You devils are the biggest criminals, man. Okay, and even to this very day, you're going around different countries and stealing people's shit, stealing people's goods and resources, whatever it may be, their gold, their silver, their crude oil, whatever it may be, lithium. You devils are going around, throughout the whole world, stealing people's shit, man. But you want to call us criminals? No, you motherfuckers are the biggest criminals, man. These Edomites, they're a bunch of hypocrites. Okay, but anyways, let me go to the book of Habakkuk, chapter 1. Okay, Habakkuk chapter 1, verse 10, and it says, and they shall scoff at the kings, and the princes shall be a scorn unto them. They shall deride every stronghold, for they shall heap dust and take it. So, exactly, they shall scoff at kings. Who are the true kings? We are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. We're the ones that are supposed to be ruling and governing this world. But of course, for the sake of prophecy, it had to go down that way, to where you Edomites were going to be unleashed for a season, like the scripture says, right? Satan shall be loose for a season or something like that, after 1,000 years of slavery, whatever. So for the sake of prophecy, you devils had to come back in power, during the Renaissance time, which the word Renaissance means a rebirth. Okay, that's when you devils came back into power and whatnot, right? And that's when you started taking us down, the dark, the darker people. But it says, and they shall scoff at the kings. And that's what you devils do, man. You scoff at us. It says, and the princes shall be a scorn unto them. Who's the princes? That's the nation of Israel. Okay, literally the name Israel means he is a prince of the power. So we're the princes of the Most High. He is the prince of the power. He is the prince of the Most High. It says, and the princes shall be a scorn unto them. They shall deride every stronghold, for they shall heap dust and take it. And that's what you devils actually did, man. You took everything. You took our land. You took the land of Israel and claimed it to be your own. Okay. But is that your land? Absolutely not. That land belongs to us. Okay, but what is the land of Israel? That's our land. And here it is. You have these heathen. You have Esau and Ishmael, fighting for that territory, which that territory, that piece, that plot of land doesn't belong to you devils, man. And you are the heathen. Okay. But yeah, man. The point I want to make is that these devils, they look down on us. They talk shit about us. They don't love us. They don't like us. They hate us. Especially Esau, okay? Especially Esau, man. But anyways, with that, I'm going to say, call out Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, Bashem Kakudash. Till next time, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, I'm going to say Shalom.